Okay, so we looks like we have a good quorum of people, so we can go ahead and get started. Hi, everyone. My name is Raj. I'm one of the summer interns for the Bonner Foundation this summer, and I will be facilitating this session with our wonderful presenters. We also have with us Bobby Hackett, the president of the Bonner Foundation, with a beautiful background, if you can see him. So just to give a short overview of the session, this session will be an hour long, and each school will have about 7 to 8 minutes to present their presentation or slideshow and talk about their program and the various qualities and enrollment things. And then afterwards, while they're presenting, you can put questions in the chat if you have for them. And after they have finished presenting, I will read off questions that they can answer. They'll have about 2 to 3 minutes to answer questions, and they'll move on to the next school. And then once all the schools have gone, we'll have an open Q&A where you all can ask questions to individual schools or to a specific school. So the first presenter will be Matt Caldwell, who is a graduate assistant in enrollment management from the Crummer Graduate School of Business at Rollins College.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for attending this session today. So excited to present to you our opportunity. So to talk to you a little bit about the Crummer Graduate School of Business, first I just want to go over kind of who we are and what we are. So the program that I'm specifically representing today is for the Early Advantage MBA program. That's Master of Business Administration. But what's really unique about that program is it doesn't require a business degree. It doesn't require professional experience. What it does require is for you to have been involved in leadership in your undergraduate experience, which, if you're on this call this afternoon because of your Bonner involvement, you absolutely fulfill that requirement. I'm going to show some student spotlights, some class spotlights that really emphasize the unique benefits to this program, but just some of our rankings. #1 MBA in Florida by Forbes. We're really excited about being the #1 MBA for leadership in the United States by HR.com for the last 5 years. And we'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. But really, really unique opportunity. So the mission of Crummer, we always like to start, is to develop global business leaders who make positive impact on their communities and organizations. I think just some grad school advice in general, think about the mission of yourself and what you embody, and try and find something that aligns with what the school you're applying to and the program you're applying to. And a great question also on the call today is Denise Turner, who's our Director of Admissions. And a great question that you should always be asking: what is your mission and how do you embody that mission daily in the classroom? This mission, how we embody it in the classroom, it's infused in the curriculum with a conversation on ethics. So accounting seems very black and white, numbers. At Crummer, you're going to learn the ethical side of accounting. What can happen when the numbers aren't being used correctly, or the domino effect. And that's with all opportunities in those classrooms. So the Early Advantage MBA specifically, it's a 16 or a 20-month program that begins in January or September. We are still recruiting for fall of 2020 and for spring of 2021. The only difference in those two courses is if you start in the fall, you'll have the summer for your internship, whereas if you start in the spring, you'll continue to take classes during the summer. The average age is between 23 and 25, but we are open to all. We have a great global business experience. We think about the importance of learning other people's perspectives, and I'm going to talk a little bit about how we do that with the global experience. The domestic and international consulting projects allow you to work with real businesses to solve their problems. That's a great way students land those full-time job offers. We also have a great internship and mentor program. So personally, when I was in the program, which I graduated from this last month, I had 3 different coaches and mentors that met with me once a week for an hour at a time. We'd get breakfast, we'd get coffee, and just were so involved in helping me be a better version of myself. And as I said in the beginning, we are open to all undergraduate majors. So to talk to you a little bit more about that Center for Leadership Development, and the reason why we're so excited to be here with Bonner today, there are 3 to 4 events per week with guest speakers, personal development trainings, and social events that really help you maximize your leadership skills. A program that we're really, really proud of is that for 2 years while you're in the college, you can serve as a full voting member on an Orlando area nonprofit board. So that does not mean you're getting coffee, you're taking notes. That means you're using your past experiences, which you've gained here through the Bonner program, and you are being placed on a board of an area of your interest for 2 years, and you're a voting member. So you are working the events, you're attending the meetings. This is a great way to build your personal networking and also really make a difference in the community. You also have access to free professional development coaching and service opportunities throughout the year through both the college and the graduate school. Students are also able to earn a certificate of leadership for being involved in various different activities, and that really helps you with the personal development. So now what I want to do is kind of take you on a spotlight of some of the different classes and opportunities you can take while at Crummer. And again, stuff you might not have thought of as a business school, or maybe you weren't thinking about business school, but to show you that it really is a great option to take your undergraduate passion area, add the business degree, and really make an impact. So sustainability in Latin America is a course that I was able to participate in. And you travel to Costa Rica with the CEO of Artifacts Coffee. They are a full nonprofit and they work to improve the livelihoods of the community of Monteverde, Costa Rica, and working with them to ensure that, their conditions are sanitary, that they're helping their workers. The Monteverde region is one of the typical Latin American regions that is underserved. And for the week that you're on this trip, you get to visit with the locals and really use your business knowledge and your previous experiences to help them help their community. The last presentation, the last day, we were able to work with the Monteverde Community Fund, and that is very similar to a YMCA in the United States, and work on a much more local region to give them ideas to maximize their resources. So the International Business Spotlight. So instead of taking International Business 101 and reading out of a textbook, because Crummer fully believes in gaining that perspective, every student at Crummer, included in tuition, travels to a foreign country for a week to work with local businesses and meet new people to really gain that perspective of what it's like. So I traveled to Greece in May of 2019, and that was a really, really good opportunity to learn. We hear so much about the Greece, economic failures and what it's like to do business from Europe into the United States, but to listen to it firsthand was a really, really special opportunity. So quickly, I'd like to spotlight one of our students. Her name is Kara Borowski. She's one of my really good friends as well. She studied environmental science at Florida State University, never wanted to be a business student, never wanted to go to business school, but she ended up falling in love with Crummer, and she became the president of Net Impact, which works to reduce your carbon footprint to zero. Every year, that group at Crummer travels to the conference wherever it's held to speak and work with the workshops with those executives with Fortune 500 companies. And after she finished the Crummer MBA, she is currently the director of youth outreach for the city of Orlando. And she works every day with underserved communities in Central Florida, helping them help the environment. So now what we're all here for, to talk a little bit about the exclusive benefits you will receive as a Bonner student. It is a guaranteed $10,000 scholarship, and that is in addition to other financial aid opportunities, including graduate assistantships where you can build experience while getting to work flexible hours, housing stipends, which help cover the cost of your living expenses, and of course, student loans, and the opportunity to get help with internships. There's a career center at Crummer that is dedicated, it's 2 full-time staff dedicated to helping you find a job that you love, and that's a great opportunity you receive for life. Also, as a Bonner benefit, it's a great springboard to serving as a board member for those 2 years and be that full voting member on a nonprofit. And of course, the ability to participate in all events, including the events with the Bonner students that are at Rollins College in the undergraduate programs. And now as we close for my part of today, just some next steps, great advice you can use, not just for Crummer, but for any of your graduate school applications. Ask to meet with a current student. You can obviously apply online, of course, and we will be sending you the link for this presentation, but ask to meet with a professor. See if your values align with that. Does that professor seem like someone you would want to learn from for 2 years? and meet with a current student. Our admissions director, Denise Turner, is on the call. Her contact information is listed here, and of course, we'll be sharing this with you soon, but I think I'm right at 7 minutes, so I want to thank you so much for your time and attention this afternoon, and we look forward to answering your questions.
Thank you, Matt. Does anybody have any questions for Matt? You can either unmute yourself, raise your hand, or put them in the chat.
Can I just have a quick clarification? You said that it doesn't matter which undergrad you have at all?
That's correct. We have majors from dance to environmental science to Greek studies and everything in between.
Okay, thank you so much.
Of course.
Matt, just a comment. Having a Bonner program at Rollins, that's a pretty special connection for a Bonner to have. And how has that played out? Do you have any examples of how those conversations go? Do they join them for dinner sometime or events?
Yeah.
Or?
That's a great question. And so one of our great events that we have every fall is with one of our professors who is very involved, actually the president of that Net Impact Society. We host an event at the graduate school with the Bonner students in the undergraduate program and just kind of talk about service and leadership and from the sustainability perspective. And that's just one of the events that we like to host throughout the year. And some pizza lunches just to talk about application workshops. So it's very well interconnected.
And Matt, this last question came in through the chat. Is the program fully in person or is it an online program as well?
That's a great question. So it is fully in person. And so it's just to build those intimate relationships with your professors and colleagues as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Of course.
So thank you so much, Matt. That was really wonderful. Our next presenter will be Julie Dishman, the Director of Recruitment and Admissions from the Earlham School of Religion.
Hi, thanks for coming today. This is my first networking experience online, so I don't have as beautiful as a presentation as Matt has. He did such a great job on that. And I will share some information on the screen and see if I can do that correctly. Okay, this is Earlham School of Religion is a Quaker seminary rooted in the Quaker tradition of contemplation that inspires action. The School of Religion prepares theologically diverse students for a pluralistic world, and our curriculum unites spiritual formation, academic study, social engagement, and vital ministry. And I know many of you probably have no idea what Quakers are. And Quakers are religion that we are non-creedal. We do not have a doctrine, but we do base our work on the Quaker testimonies. And those testimonies are simplicity, peace, integrity, community, equality, and stewardship. And a couple of the programs I would really like to highlight are ones that you wouldn't probably necessarily think that a seminary would offer. A lot of people think seminary is someplace you go if you want to be a minister. And we certainly do have people come to the seminary who want to be ministers. They want to be pulpit ministers or pastoral care kind of chaplains kind of ministry. But we like to think of ministry very creatively. We feel that everyone is called to minister to the world. And so creative ministry can take all different forms. So one of the new programs that we just developed that I would like to highlight is our Master of Arts in Peace and Social Transformation. And it is one that I feel is really needed in today's world with everything going on right now. It's a 10-person cohort, and this year we have 9 students who are just confirmed are coming in the August for this. And it's very heavy in spiritual formation and also in practical experience. There are several of the classes that you'll actually have a practicum and at the end you'll have an internship. It's a 1-year program, fully paid tuition. All students who are enrolled in this get their tuition paid. And then there's areas of concentration, and you can see those on here. So you can see the kind of classes that you might take that really prepare our students for work in the real world. So that's one of the programs that I would like to highlight here. I'll let you look at that for just a moment. And so then the next program, that's the Peace and Social Transformation 1-year program. This one is residential. The other program I'd like to highlight, because it is very unique. We are one of the only institutions that have this type of program. It was started last year. It's a Master of Arts in Theopoetics and Writing, and people say, what in the world is Theopoetics? Well, Theopoetics, if you would look it up on Wikipedia, it's an interdisciplinary field of study that combines elements of poetic and analysis, process theology, narrative theology, and postmodern philosophy. And so then you still say, so what is that? Of the logic of God. Think of Theopoetics as the creative aspect, the art, the creative ministry, the creative study of the world and of God in the world. And these courses we share with Bethany Seminary, which is a Church of the Brethren seminary, and we share a campus with them. And these are some of the classes that you might take with us. This is a 2-year program. And this one can be done fully online or in person. So I'm going to unshare the screen here if I can. Honor scholars have lots of opportunities at Earlham School of Religion. One of them is that if they apply for the Master of Arts in Theopoetics and Writing, or a Master of Divinity program, or a regular Master of Arts program, Bonners get full tuition paid. That's just what we want to do for Bonners. Earlham College, where we have our campus, it's on the Earlham School of Religion is on the Earlham College campus, and there is a Bonner program at Earlham College. So if students come, they can actually work in the Bonner program on the Earlham College campus. As I said, the Master of Arts in Theopoetics and Writing, it is a fully funded class for every student. You don't have to be a Bonner, but there's a possibility of you doing one of your practicums or your internship in the Bonner office as well. So we really like to keep that a strong program and have a strong connection. We've had a couple students now at the Earlham School of Religion who were Bonner scholars or Bonner leaders, and one of them still works on the Earlham campus ministry. And we also offer an international student component, and our international students can get full funding, they can get housing, they can get a housing stipend. We offer 2 of those a year. So that's also a possibility for international students. We accept students with all different backgrounds. You do not have to have a bachelor in to come to Earlham School of Religion. You really just have to have the calling and the desire to minister to the world, to develop your creative ministry. I'd like to leave some time for questions if you all have any questions.
Thank you so much. If anybody has any questions, you can put them in the chat, unmute yourself, or also raise your hand as well.
This is Bobby. When you say fully funded, what does that actually mean?
Fully funded for this for the Peace and Social Transformation. It's the fully funded one for that is full tuition scholarship. Fully funded for international students would be all, even fees, would even include the fees, but it's all tuition. We also have another very unique program for the Master of Divinity program. That's a brand new one. And it is called Entrepreneurial Ministry. And we have students who come, they want to do yoga ministries, or they want to do a bicycle ministry or a coffee house ministry, those kinds of things. So it's a really good program, and you actually get a stipend for doing that one. And it includes courses such as developing your ministry canvas, money matters in ministry, firm foundations, like developing your organizational structure, those kinds of things. So kind of combines a little bit of business and ministry for the practical side of ministry. Any other questions?
Okay, thank you so much, Julie, for presenting. I really liked hearing about your school. So now I'll be introducing Megan Vanden Hemel, who is the Assistant Director of Graduate Student Recruitment at the O'Neill School of Public Health and Environmental Affairs at IAU-PUI.
Hi, folks. Just going to get that set up real quick, and then we will get started. All right. So thank you for joining us today. Like Raj said, my name is Megan Vanden Hemel. I am the Assistant Director of Graduate Student Recruitment for the O'Neill School at Indiana University, Bloomington. And I'll be going over the different programs that we have, as well as financial aid, how to apply, and then make time for questions. So right off the bat, I would like to mention that we are the top-ranked public affairs school in the entire country. This is 4 years running. We are also currently top-ranked in the entire world. So that's something that we're really proud of. It's something that we really strive to maintain through the quality of education and resources that we have here at the O'Neill School. We also have a lot of very competitive concentration areas, so you can very much so specialize and tailor your education, making sure that you're leaving the O'Neill School with the exact kind of education that you're hoping for. There's also a wide range of study abroad opportunities, and we also have one of the largest alumni bases of any public affairs school as well. So we have over 34,000 alumni across the entire world, helping you make those connections and getting you placed where you want to go. So we have 5 main programs within the O'Neill School, as well as 2 dual degrees with our Masters of Public Affairs. These range in length from 1 year to 2.5 years, dependent on the path that you choose to take. We also have quite a few certificate offers if you're looking to supplement your education, whether it be before your master's, after your bachelor's degree, at any point in your professional career. These are a great way to really specialize and hone in a specific area. So our Masters of Arts and Arts Administration program is a 1.5 to 2 year length program. It's really designed for folks that want to be leaders within the arts management field. So there's a lot of opportunities to get that hands-on experience. It is a required part of the program throughout it, making sure you're coming out with at least a year of experience within the field, as well as tied to your classwork. And there's a lot of really great opportunities, again, to tailor your education. You take classes like museum management, public policy in the arts, as well as financial management in the arts. So it's certainly a specific area. Next is our flagship science program. It's our Masters of Science in Environmental Science. It's 2 years in length, very hands-on based. You're going to be doing a lot of research within the field, a lot of internships, things like that. You can customize your degree with 4 concentration areas, and there's a lot of very cool and specific areas that you can delve into. So if you're interested in natural resource management, environmental law, GIS, things like that, those are some of our most popular courses. Next is a more specialized science degree that we have. So it's our Masters of Environmental Science. This is a 1-year accelerated degree, and it really does give you that managerial experience in the growing green field. So it's a little less hands-on field experience, a little more managerial focused. But again, as all of our programs are, very, very customizable. So you'll be choosing one of these 4 focus areas to really hone in on that experience and making sure that you're getting the materials that you need in order to get the jobs that you Next is our newest program. It's our Master's of Science in Healthcare Management. This is a one-year program jointly offered with our Kelly School of Business on campus. So you're going to be getting a strong focus on that business side, as well as a strong focus on the healthcare side. You're also going to have almost a full year of in-person hands-on experience. So not only will you graduate with your master's degree in 1 year, but you'll also get 1 year of experience at the same time, which is pretty phenomenal. A lot of great different offerings within the classes and a lot of great ways to secure your education, making sure that you're getting exactly what you want out of it. And then our flagship program is our Master's of Public Affairs. This is 2 years in length. It's very exceptionally customizable. The rest of our programs are as well, but this one it's almost aggressive how much you can flex with it, which is really awesome. That's what folks tend to like best about that program. You earn a lot of practical experience through internship opportunities, research opportunities on campus, things like that. You can focus within areas within the law, public affairs, development, grant management, things like that. As for our dual programs, one of the programs that you can match with our MPA is our Arts Administration program. So it's for folks that are looking to create policy within the arts field. It's only an extra semester, but you come out with 2 master's degrees, which is pretty phenomenal. It's certainly, especially if that's the area that you're looking to go into, it's a great way to maximize your time here. And then another one tied with our public affairs program is our environmental science. Again, just 1 extra semester and you'll get 2 master's degrees, but not only that, they're both the highest ranked in their area. So that's going to take you to a lot of places, which is pretty great. A main focus of our school is to making sure that you're getting that hands-on experience. So that's tied into every single one of our programs. There's a lot of cool ways to go about that. So it's through internships, study abroad opportunities, or prior professional experience or research projects. So again, that customization is something that is key to us. Now we do also offer quite a bit of funding opportunities for our students. As Bonner Scholars, you'll automatically get a minimum of $5,000, but that can be tied on top of our fellowship awards. So if you apply by the priority deadline, if you're looking to start for fall 2021, you'll automatically be considered for 25 to 50% tuition reduction. So it's a giant slash in your bill, which is really nice. It's also a lot of opportunities to work on campus through assistantship opportunities, whether it be through classroom or administration functions, faculty research, different opportunities, and it fluctuates across the O'Neill School and beyond. For the application checklist, we tried to streamline it. The GRE is not required. You don't have to take it, don't have to submit it, save yourself quite a few dollars through that, which is great. Unofficial transcripts, again, save you a bit of a headache. And if you are an international applicant, we do require those English test scores. But other than that, it's pretty streamlined and yeah, it's great. So at this time, I will open it up for questions. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Megan. So you could you could put questions in the chat or raise your hand or just unmute yourself. Somebody asked, do you have a joint degree with a JD?
Yes, we do. We have with our Masters of Public Affairs, it's a joint degree with our Emory School of Law on campus.
And Sophia asked, does the scholarship for being a Bonner also go towards the online certificate program?
I believe it's specifically for the master's programs, but that is a great question. And I can certainly get those answers and follow back up with you.
Another question, what is the out-of-state to in-state student ratio?
So it's probably about 60-40 in-state to out-of-state. So we do see a lot of Indiana residents, but there is a lot of folks that are attracted to the school from outside of the state and outside of the country. So it's certainly a large population.
This is Bobby. We have, I have 40, so far 41 students this summer, essentially interning with me. It's kind of weird to think of that way because it's online, but they've been showing up daily. We're going to go to twice a week in a minute. and they're doing policy research. They're working on issue briefs and setting up a local information hub, local bureau for policy information and key organizations and that kind of stuff. And they seem to come from a whole variety of majors. Some folks in STEM that are also interested in public health, those kinds of things. And I'm wondering, first of all, what makes a strong applicant for your program is my first question. I'll just throw the second one. The second one is, what kind of stuff, maybe you said it, but just maybe you can repeat it. What kind of stuff is available? How do you help people do stuff in the summer to get some practical experience as well?
Sure. So what we look for in applicants is folks that are hoping to lead for the greater good. That's our slogan, and that's really what we base everything that we do off of. Folks of all different kinds of backgrounds, studies, professional experience, it's all welcome here, and we don't have, specific guidelines in order to make that space. So if you're looking to lead for the greater good, we'd be happy to have you. And then as far for your second question with helping support students for their summer opportunities, we do have an internal career center for O'Neill students specifically. So they're always working on finding internships. They're working with our alumni center. We have career fairs. We bring in organizations onto campus. So while we are in the middle of Indiana, we do make it very, very accessible for folks that are, looking to relocate or, broaden their horizons. So that's something that's a strong focus of what we do.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Other questions? Okay, thank you so much, Megan, for your presentation. It was really helpful. There were a lot of different programs you talked about. So our last school today will be Brittany Robinson, the Director of Admissions and Recruitment at the Rollins School of Public Health at Emory University.
Hi, everyone. I'm going to switch over, share my screen. Perfect. So hello, everyone. I am the Director of Admissions and Recruitment for Rollins School of Public Health. I am also an alumnus of the program. I graduated doing the Behavioral Sciences and Health Education program. My undergrad was in biochemistry with a double major in human services. So for me, I always had the background of counseling and research. So that will come into play as I talk more about my journey into public health. So typically I have to start off with what is public health, but right now we're in the middle of a pandemic. So I think a lot of people are starting to warm up to what public health is. And just so everyone knows, the definition of public health is the science and art of protecting and improving the health of communities and improve the overall health and well-being of people and communities at the local, state, national, and international levels as well. So what do we offer at Rollins? We offer a multitude of master's and PhD programs. Our master's programs, you can either do the Master's of Public Health or the Master of Science of Public Health. I get a lot of questions about what the difference is. The Master of Science in Public Health is a more quantitative experience, that more science-based experience. So think about epidemiology or biostatistics. That lends itself really well to getting a Master's of Science in Public Health. Now, that being said, you can always add on more science-based lectures into your Master of Public Health, so you can build the curriculum that you like. It's just that those quantitative classes are already built into that MSPH curriculum. We also have a PhD program in different departments for our public health, but you would apply through the Laney Graduate School, so I'm more than happy to direct people to that program when you're ready to go get your PhD. So for us, we have 6 different departments and 1 program at the School of Public Health. We have Behavioral, Social, and Health Education Sciences, which is my alum department. And then we have Biostatistics, Bioinformatics, Environmental Health, epidemiology, health policy and management, and global health. So when you're looking at those departments, think of those as the lens in which you're going to look through public health. So you would choose one of those as your main department, but you would be taking core classes in all of the departments, as well as being able to choose electives from any of the departments, as well as the entire Emory University system. So if you like to take a business class, a medical school class, and maybe build up language skills, or you're looking to go to medical school and need to retake that organic chemistry class, you're able to do so. You pay a flat tuition fee. So that's why you're able to take classes across the university. We also have the Executive MPH program, which is our hybrid program for professionals who have been in the field for 3 years, and they're looking to come back to get that Master's of Public Health.
Brittany, so sorry, but I don't think your screen is being shared right now.
Let's see, you're just seeing a lot of animated hand motions then for me.
Yeah, we can see it now.
Cool. Okay, so I'll go back really quickly and we'll share this presentation. So just imagine the hand motions while you're going back and reading it. Okay, so dual degree programs, and we have a multitude of dual degree programs. How our dual degree programs work is that you would apply to each school separately. So medical school separately, School of Public Health separate. When you get into both, you are then a dual degree student. You would take classes at each school separately, but your public health degree would reduce down by a year. So instead of being a 2-year program, it would be a 1-year program. And typically you would start at the other school first and then come to us. We also have certificate programs as well. You are able to tack on a certificate program once you're in school. Think of your certificate program as a minor and your department as your major. So we are based in Atlanta, Georgia. Oddly enough, Atlanta is known as the public health capital of the world. It is a home of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the Carter Center, CARE, American Cancer Society. We have multitude of nonprofits, state and local public health sectors that you can get involved in. We also have the Task Force for Global Health if you want to stay based in the States and then go work internationally. So you have a lot of practicum opportunities and volunteer opportunities while you're in Atlanta in school. Academic life at Rollins, we are rated number 5 in the NIH Grant Awards. We use a lot of acronyms of public health. We are housing the Center for AIDS Research. We do cancer screening, research, sexual health research, quality of life measures, think of cost of healthcare, public health preparedness, a whole multitude of research opportunities. If you're interested in it, we have it. If we don't have it, then we are happy to trailblaze along with you. So getting into the nitty-gritty of application requirements, we have what's called SOFIS. So any accredited school of public health would be using the SOFIS program. The majority of them, I say that. Think of it as the common application for schools of public health. So you may choose up to 3 programs at Rollins School of Public Health, and you would choose your top 3 departments and select literally 1, 2, 3. If you get into your first choice, congratulations, you're done. If you don't, your application's automatically routed to your second choice. We require the official transcripts, 2 letters of recommendation. We will accept up to 3 standardized test scores. It is optional, the GRE, for fall 2020 and fall of 2021 admission. So just know that. And you are not required to take the GRE for our executive MPH program. We do require a statement of purpose and objectives. And then the SOFIS application also has a place for you to put your research, your work volunteers, any honors you have. Again, just a basic common application. International students do have additional requirements like TOEFLs and needing a WES evaluation. So it takes a little while for SOFIS to verify. So they fact check everything and then it comes over to us. So that's what verification is. So just the image of the application process. And for your reference, this is our incoming class profile. This past year, we had a total of 652 incoming students, which includes our executive MPH program. The average age is 26, and you see our top countries, top states. This is a nice for you to look at post presentation. Tuition and fees, also a fun one to get your heart rate going. We are expensive. I will say that I am one more year out from paying off my loans from going to the school. But I'm more than happy to talk to you about tuition and cost saving measures like these listed here. What I want to really drive home is our Bonner Scholarship. We have $10,000 over the course of 2 years, and then you are guaranteed a real award, which is our work-study program. So for me, when I was a student over a decade ago, I worked at the CDC while I was a student in the Division of Violence through the Rollins Earn and Learn program. We also have merit-based scholarships as well, which I'm more than happy to speak to everyone about offline if you'd like. These are some job titles and locations. Right now, COVID-19 is huge. A lot of people are being redetailed to that. When it was 2014, I was redetailed to work on the Ebola crisis while I was teaching legislators about healthcare. But when you are called to action, that's kind of where you get detailed to. And a whole bunch of contacts for everyone to reach out to. I blazed through that presentation, so I'm more than happy to speak with everyone about any sort of questions you have. I myself have been in the field for, like I said, over a decade. I worked at the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. I worked for the state of Georgia, working on cancer control plans, as well as asthma control strategic plans. Worked for the Centers of Medicare and Medicaid, was the director of student life for 3 years at Rollins, and I'm the director of admissions. So a whole plethora of public health experience. So thank you all.
Thank you so much. If anyone has questions, you can put them in the chat or unmute yourself. While we wait for questions, I have a question. Does the scholarship also apply to the dual degree programs that you talked about?
It does, yes.
So would you recommend applying through SOFIS or through, let's say, the other degrees program to have like that acknowledgement of the Bonner service?
Yeah. So you would have to apply no matter what through SOFIS to be considered for the School of Public Health. So we actually don't know you're a dual degree student until you tell us. We do that. So if you get into both schools and say you just decided maybe you don't want to get your MBA, you just want to get your Master's of Public Health, you're still able to do so.
Okay, great. Thank you.
So of course.
We have some questions. So somebody asked, how many students do you see coming into the program right out of undergrad?
So we're actually about a 50-50 split. That's a great question. For me, I went straight out from undergrad, but I also had colleagues that had work experience. So it's really up in the air. I think depending on your experience, it just really adds to the classroom, the diversity of experiences. And fun fact, when you're looking at grad schools and thinking about those who are coming straight out from undergrad, actually really is really good. People are going to start applying to jobs and getting jobs. If it's not so good, people are going to say, okay, I got to go into grad school. So for me, I was like going right towards the recession and I was like, time for grad school. So that's kind of a trend that you look into.
Thank you. So another question, can you talk more about the PhD MBH program, please?
Yes, so there are, I don't know which question you're asking me for the PhD program, but the dual degree PhD MPH program is actually if you're getting a PhD in a subject that is not public health. So it would be just like a dual degree program. You go to Laney Graduate School and then in the middle of your program come to Rollins for a year to get your MSP or MPH or MSPH. It's not a MPH straight into a public health PhD program. For that program, you again apply separately, just like the other dual degrees programs. Now, if you're looking to get a PhD in public health and looking for that streamlined measured, you would still apply to either the MPH or the PhD program, depending what you want to get. So I would say more email me because it's a little bit more of a process if you haven't gotten your MPH yet and you want to get a PhD at Rollins.
Awesome. Somebody asked, are you able to use the Bonner Scholarship and an AmeriCorps Education Award as well?
Yes.
And then I've got one question.
Yeah.
How do you see campus visitations working this upcoming year with like in-person maybe being in the question?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think right now everyone's trying to figure it out. For me, I am waiting for Emory University as a whole. So we sit underneath the umbrella of it. They are announcing what they're going to be doing on June 15th. So I'm anxiously awaiting to let students know, because I hate being in a place that's like, I don't know. But we are fortunate enough to have faculty and alumni. The CDC is literally across the street from us. So we have public health consultants. So right now, we are working through every single option. So we have a fully implemented online program, a fully implementable hybrid program, which means half of your classes would be online, half of them would be in person with social distancing measures. And then we have a fully implementable, if we are all going back, what does that mean? Social distance measures. So we're ready for any scenario, but we just need to wait for Emory to announce it. But I know schools are slowly starting to roll out and everyone's kind of doing something different. Harvard Graduate Schools announced that they're going to be, or their medical school and dental school announced that they're going to be fully online. BU undergrad just announced that they're doing kind of a choose your own adventure. You could either go to classes online or you can go to classes in person. So we're kind of in this world of unknown, but I can assure you that for those of you that had to switch really quickly in your spring semester to go online, remember that we too as professors switch really quickly to online, and we're like, okay, we have 1 week while people are on spring break to figure out how to do our whole last semester. So this time now we are bringing in consultants for different learning measures. We have a whole summer to build curriculum. So no matter where you're going to school, know that everyone's a little bit more informed and a little more used to Zoom and best practices for online.
Thank you. And I think somebody, Horatio, raised his hand to ask a question.
Hi, I just had a quick question.
Horatio, I remember you.
Yeah, hi, how are you?
Good to see you.
You too. When I saw your name, I was like, wait, I met you last year.
Yes.
I just had a quick question. I saw in your presentation that for this year and the upcoming year, the GRE is going to be optional.
Yes.
Would you still recommend to do the test if, let's say, for example, your overall GPA in undergrad wasn't too strong, or would you say just apply and not worry about the GRE?
Yeah, so that's a tough one. So the admissions officer in me says the GRE can only help you. It can't hurt you by adding it to your application. Now the public health person in me knows that testing sites are closed, slowly reopening. I spoke to an applicant the other day that she can't even get an online test. Sorry, I have a cat in the background. An online test until July, and now it's pushing out to August. So if you can't get to it, that's completely fine. That's why we made it optional. If you feel more comfortable doing it, then you're more than happy to do that. You can also submit your application and let us know that you have a test date and that you want to be reviewed with your GRE scores. So just remember that we're all trying to be flexible in it. But you know, Horatio, if you reach out to me, I'll let you know what's going on.
Thank you very much, Ian. Really appreciate it. And nice to see you again.
Yeah, good to see you.
I'm muted.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your presentation. I'll open the floor to questions for any of the presenters. I think Bobby wants to say something.
Just real quick, have you seen a shift in the, maybe because of the economy, but maybe more likely the pandemic, in applications interest? Because I've been hearing it from students who public health all of a sudden, and you know, the word epidemiology becomes,
Oh yeah.
and that's not something you heard 6 months ago.
I'll say this, it's a very interesting trend. So last year I was in the position of figuring out what to do because public health applications as a whole, the predictive models all said that an MPH program will be declining. We will have less applicants. So it's that reasoning is because more undergrad institutions are having majors and minors for public health. So students are starting to get that taste of what public health is and might choose to go a different direction in the master's programs. So last year, we were all trying to figure out, okay, how can we get more applications? How can we get people interested in public health? And then the pandemic hit. And we are seeing a surge in applications right now. But again, it's not just because of the interest in public health. That surge is coming from a lot of programs being shut down. So one of the biggest cohorts right now are returned Peace Corps volunteers. The entire Peace Corps volunteer program has been put on pause, and our volunteers have been sent back to the US. So they've kind of been caught in the middle of, they had a 2-year plan, and now all of a sudden it's either cut by a year, cut by 6 months, or cut by 9 months. So they are applying to graduate school, and public health lends itself really well to Peace Corps volunteers, similar to some AmeriCorps programs as well, or people that were doing international positions. So we're seeing a surge in public health. I am expecting to read a lot of personal statements about COVID over the next few years.
Awesome. Does anybody have any questions just overall for the group or for any of the presenters?